Beautiful upon the hill, looking out to sea. There our thoughts are turning still to hours we spent with thee. We love the alma mater, our praise to thee we'll sing.
Co-host for this evening,
Richie Byrne, class of 1985. You did good.
all right, I'm very excited about the next guest, man. He's gone on to have a great career, and I want to talk to him about it. He's our first, record producer and songwriter, and he goes back and forth between New York and LA. Started his own company, holds a bunch of Wagner track records. So not only is he into music, he's like the Drinkwater brothers that were in theater and also played football. So he ran track and now he's gone on to big things, man.
These guys are making me feel like I did nothing in my life. But go ahead.
Yeah, the resume, you're like, we got to talk ourselves up a little bit more because these guys are making us look like slouches.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, so from the class of, please welcome Drew Hepkins, everyone. Drew.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
What's going on?
Not much, man.
I didn't give away your year, man.
Well, kind of.
Well, kind of did. I'll take what's up.
Yeah. So you were always into music at Wagner. How did you? I can't even imagine. How did you get into songwriting? Because were you actually writing on campus your own original stuff?
Right.
So
yeah.
did you start your company like on campus or like kind of being an entrepreneur?
Technically, yeah. Like I always did music. Grew up in church, and I'm sure you heard the noise from my room. I was always working on music, and it was more of a recreation, something I've always done. And then, after, brief stint in corporate America, I worked for Atlantic Records for a little bit.
Okay.
I just started to try my hand at my own creative ventures, and then started doing the music thing. I wrote, for Blanco y Negro and Venden the Records, and did the house music thing for a while.
Wow.
And then fell into voiceovers.
Wow. So you never really stopped doing music. Like it was always your passion, doing it on the side, and then like you said, you started with corporate America, but ended up going with Atlantic Records, and that kind of sprung you to where you are now.
Right. I mean, you learn a lot in the corporate environment. Like, you don't want to be there. But it was actually a great time. I learned a lot. And I think for any entrepreneur, being in a corporate setting is it's a great learning experience, a very good learning curve. You get to see how things are done professionally, because, even sending things out to companies, there's a right way to do it. And you learn a lot in a corporate atmosphere, but you don't have to stay there, but I did learn a lot.
And on campus at Wagner, in a different kind of writing, you wrote for the Wagnerian, the college newspaper.
Yeah.
And so you started controversy way back when. Like you were starting your own. You were starting your own hype. Tell us a little bit about that.
I mean, I just, not that I wanted to cause trouble or anything. I just kind of talked about issues, honestly, and talked about issues from a perspective that, wasn't really discussed at the time. And I talked about, diversity. I talked about race issues, and I talked about a whole bunch of stuff. And there was a lot of interesting things that unfolded in doing so. And it was just things I'll never forget. Like, there was one person, a doctor, who contacted the school because, the articles got around, and, I would just speak very raw, very honest. And this couple from Africa contacted the school and said they wanted to meet me. And I'm like, yo, this is amazing. This is great. I'm super flattered. And so I set this whole thing up. talk to the people at the school, and they allowed me to do this whole thing. So I invited all these people. I told my friends, and that this couple from Africa was going to come talk to us about Africa dance. And so I had this room full of people over there, and the couple showed up, and they were white. I was like,
Oh no!
I was surprised with everybody else.
Well, that's called reverse racism, Drew.
I had to really soul search and just start thinking, like, yeah.
Wait,
I was
so
like,
what was the couple, the guest speakers? Were they the only white people in the room then?
actually, there were some non-black people in the room, but majority was black because of the subject.
Right, right,
I talked about a lot of different things, but for this particular subject,
right.
it attracted black people. And when they rolled up, and the wife, the blonde, blue-eyed, she's like, "Hey!"
Oh boy.
I was like, "Hey!" I was like, "Wow."
Looking very Scandinavian.
What did they do? What did they talk about?
They talked about diversity. It actually had an interesting spin. Like, there was one or two people in the room that were like, so, just had a little skepticism as to why they did what they did. But the overall message was about diversity and inclusion, and they were very passionate about what they did, and so just went with it.
Did they dance?
She did dance.
Really? I'm joking.
She did dance, and but at first you don't know. I mean, I'm cool. It's not a big deal to me, but you don't know how people are going to receive it. So
Right.
at first I'm there sweating, but it was actually a good experience, and I actually kept in contact with them.
That's great, man.
Yeah.
Wow. And what are you working on now?
Oh yeah.
You're in New
Still
York
not-
right now?
Yeah, I'm in New York right now, and I'm still into controversy. I have. I mean, my main gig of many. I'm a voice actor, musician, but I also I'm a blogger, writer. I write for some publications, and I have a platform, YouTube platform, and a blog, and I tackle a lot of controversial issues of the day. And in 2020, we're in shortage of controversial issues now.
Mhm.
So,
For sure.
yeah,
Unfortunately.
for sure. Unfortunately, yeah. Definitely a interesting time that we're in.
But I mean, that's the way you were at Wagner too, being the first pianist for the first Wagner College gospel choir. Is that something that you formulated, or that you were just a part of?
I ended up being the pianist. Like, I mean, I was on a different path at the time, but
Yeah.
I grew up in church, and I heard about it. The guy Lee, I want to say his name was Lee Peters.
Okay.
Good guy, very good guy, and they started this. I always had an ear open for different groups and things that were going on, and I just came to check it out, maybe help out, and then I ended up being the pianist. I was like, and I tried to tell him maybe not me, because it's not really what I do. Like, I'm a musician, but I'm sure there's someone else that can be your pianist. And no, he's just like, he wanted me, and we just kind of did our thing for a little bit. And I don't even know if there's still a gospel choir, but I think we were the first and
Wow.
probably the only.
Right. Do you think that kind of helps you now with working with different artists, being able to sing and being able to play and write the songs and then work with the artists?
Having a knowledge of music definitely helps. In today's world, there's a lot of music songwriters and producers that don't really know a lot of music theory. Doesn't mean that they can't make good stuff. I mean, there's different approaches to do music now, like computerized. But having a knowledge of music theory definitely helps. And even myself, I'm not that well versed with music theory, but I know music theory. I know the basics, and it definitely helps you become a better musician better songwriter, better in a better position to instruct someone else because you know the notes, you know. So yeah.
And how did you get to work with and like network with the album and the artist that you did? Like, is it just like any other business? Like you just start working and work your way up and
Yeah, you know what? I just kind of let the universe just take me wherever. Like I met a guy, DJ Disciple. He's well known in the house music world, and we just did a track together. I don't remember how we met, but we did a track together, and the track did very well. So he kind of introduced me to the label Blanco y Negro, his label Catch 22, Vendetta Records. So I did a whole bunch of songs with them, and I think one or two of the tracks got on the Blanco y Negro Greatest Hits. So I was really, really excited and thankful about that. You know, so
Cool.
It was fun.
That's impressive.
real impressive. But you've always done well, man. I mean, holding the Wagner track records. There's nothing that you're not good at.
Well, I wouldn't say that. I'm sure my mom will make the difference. But I'm not sure if I probably have 2 records left. I think they had a great year. Wagner had a great year in track this year. Shout out to Coach Stacy.
Coach Joe Stacy.
Yeah, he's still there. I think the last 4 years, it's been incredible. I think he just won an award. And with their success, I kind of saw my name come up a few times.
Oh, wow.
Another award knocked down. So
wow.
I think
That's impressive too, man.
Yeah, a lot of guys took a stab at it. What I had left, I think there might be one or 2 records left, but they're gonna go anytime. Oh, if they're allowed to run, that is.
Right. So, yeah. Well, it sounds like you were social distancing back then because I couldn't catch you.
How long you been holding?
Terrible joke.
Joe, we've been interviewing people all week. Joe's been sitting back waiting for Drew just for that joke. We'll get to Drew. I got a joke.
Oh man. So it sounds like too, like just in today's day and age, like, you know, you gotta hustle. So you're not only writing, you're blogging. You're not only based in New York, but you're based out in LA. Like, I mean, you just kind of have to keep your foot in different, you know, hands in different things in order to kind of keep moving up and networking, succeeding.
Yeah, I've always had that mentality. I mean, I'm not like a corporate 9-to-5er. Like, there's a lot of dimensions to who I am and what I do, and I do them all. And I try to do, you know, keep my hand in different lanes, and like, you kind of become a hustler like that. Like living in New York, and when I was in Manhattan for a while, like 6 years, and when I left corporate America, you kind of do different things. A lot of actors and models did being a promo model. I was that for a while, a brand ambassador. I was doing that for a long time, and it pays you decent money and enables you to do other things. So you become that hustler, you know, juggling different things. You're doing promotions. I did promotions for Verizon for a while, and Anheuser-Busch, and then you're incorporating different things into what you do. So I kind of never stopped doing that sort of thing, but just for my own ventures, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what's one of your favorite Wagner memories, if you can narrow it down to one or a couple?
Wow, there's a lot of memories. Some of them I can't say because I don't want to incriminate myself. And there are accomplices. So
right.
I guess I would have to say, you know, maybe in the world of athletics, like, I mean, there were some great times with that. I really wish I had gotten, I wish, I guess we all do to a certain extent. You could do years over, and I would dedicate 4 years to just strictly being a beast at track, putting all my focus on that, because I still don't think I did my best, my potential. you know, because I was always all over the place with so many different things going on, but I had some great moments with track and field. Um,
Which is
teaching-
crazy to think about, because when you left, you had 6 school records. So for you to say that you weren't focused and could have done better, that's crazy.
But Joel, if he was focused, you might still have them today.
There you go. there you go. But it definitely teaches you, any sport that you're in teaches you about discipline, and you know, it was definitely a learning experience. And like, unlike other sports where it's a team, like track is like, if you don't practice, you're gonna get smoked.
Right.
You're gonna lose.
It's kind of that unique sport where if you're not, you work as a team together, but you also work individually. You cheer each other on, but
Absolutely.
it's all on you at the end of the day.
Right. And your biggest opponent is yourself. Like,
Right.
if there's 3 other guys in the conference that are kind of like within a tenth of a second as you, so if whoever's like not working as hard, that's the loser.
Right. It's a good day and a bad day.
Right.
Yeah.
So, you know, it teaches you to be your best self, you know, despite competition and all that, all the variables, you know, being your best self is paramount.
So people can find you. Your website is rockkult.com, ROCKULT.com, and they can follow you on YouTube,
Right.
and Instagram and Facebook.
Yeah, that's the voiceover one, Rock Club.
Okay.
And there's other blogs and stuff going on, Drew Story News, and like that's where the controversy is.
Okay. as you smile, I love it.
Hey, it's what I'm here to do. You know, tackle subjects that you know, sometimes people don't put thought into. Or there's things that we all don't know. You know, and you're not going to get them from certain platforms. So, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, appreciate you coming on, Drew, and we'll talk to you soon, man. Best of luck.
Thank you, Drew.
No problem. Great talking to you guys.
You too.